Hey everyone, this is GameRock121. It's currently like 2:50 in the morning, Central Standard Time. I'm fucking tired as hell, but I'm the game master for our D&D, and I told you guys after the Turn 2 videos I would do a quick article on what has happened in the D&D campaign we've been doing. This is the second article, but I'm also going to be bringing up the first article so you guys can kind of see it and see what happened. And this one, this was kind of the rough draft of how everything was going to go. Second article's a little more, and the third article is a lot better, which will go up after the third multiplayer battles. So we'll go ahead and just go through this. This is what happened during the first turn, public information, things like that. As you can see, there's not a lot here, not a lot happened. Scotland was not an integrated part of the crown, so let me actually grab the map and bring this down, Here we go. So Scotland, as you can see right here, is part of the Union, but they're not part of the Union. They're still independent in their own way, and that's how they work. These guys also, uh, uh, what is it? Uh, Britain gained the Faroe Islands from Denmark, Norway, because all this used to be underneath Denmark at one point before it became a protectorate. So they gained the Faroe Islands up here. They've also gained an non-aggression pact with Sweden, which is all right here. You guys will find out about this at some point. What's been going on? And formed a defense alliance and political bloc with the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth and the Electorate of Brandenburg, Prussia. So Poland, Prussia. And he also gained a defense alliance with Switzerland right here, and unlimited access to the Swiss guards. So basically, he's able to do anything. France was doing its own things. They had people return. They managed to establish peace for basically the HRE and everyone else. They also established peace with several Native American territories over here before they took them. And Britain and its crowns had much negotiation. They also expanded. If only if only my Wi-Fi was working. But they expanded. They took Corsica. They had Algiers until turn 3. They take in Bengal way over here, which is this little corner where my mouse is at, as you can see. Then they took these territories. Then they took these territories from here up to here where my mouse is, and then this territory in turn 2. And it wasn't shown on the map at that time because I didn't have it, but they also took these territories down here from Portugal. And then they talked to several nations here in America. So this one right here, these ones, like a bunch of these ones used to be Native Americans or just independent little territories that they took. And see, as you can see, I wish it would work a little more, but it's not working. Uh, oh yes, this has to do with the Swedish crown, and Sweden talked to Denmark saying, "Hey, why don't you give me Norway, and you become a protectorate underneath my rule?" So this was before a lot of rules and stuff that were implemented afterwards, because we had to modify up a lot of rules, made some things that were good and bad. But I mean things that can kind of balance out the game a lot better. But Denmark agreed to it, and now Norway is now underneath Swedish control with Denmark as a protectorate, basically a puppet nation, a client state, whatever, underneath Sweden. Spain, which that player is actually dropped out. No, nothing against him. It was just he just felt it was more beneficial for him, which I completely agree with. He's fine. With Great Britain and Poland. I thought it was France, but I guess it's wrong. This is the reason for. Apparently, this stuff right here was supposed to be secret, but it wasn't in red, so technically it was in the open for their public relations stuff that they show, which I cannot show here. But yeah, this happened, and then during the first turn, a rebellion, Hungarian noble rebellion happened. So the 3 provinces that are right here that my mouse is currently going in a triangle over. These ones, circle, whatever you want to call it. These ones rebelled, and apparently it was 2 rebel armies, not 3. I don't know where I got 3 from, but it's a little too late now. And how the rebellions will go is that if the rebels take 4 more territories from their original rebel spots, then they can declare themselves as a new country. So they started with these 3, and they've expanded 3 more. So if they take 1 more, they can declare a new kingdom. And then these are some of the battles and stuff that you guys can find on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So just just hopefully I hope you actually enjoyed them. These are all other things, some prisoners that were taken, 913. Funny enough, this battle video is actually the most popular one of the videos at the current moment, which I actually quite enjoy. Then you got the Battle of Port Avaz, which is getting up there. It's getting close, but I only had part 2 of the Russian battle thing right here. But for some reason, it's not showing up, so it's not really gonna hurt me. And now this is what happened in turn 2. So, in turn 2, the Dutch declared war against France. And they're getting their asses kicked. France has marched into here, taken several territories here and here. There's still a capital city here where my mouse is, and then like 2 more forts up here. They're also blockaded and things like that. And this was tired. This was a Dutch colony, but it got bombarded and surrendered. These are also Dutch colonies. This one will fall. Well, yeah, these 2 were also Dutch colonies, but they're taken. There's gonna be a battle here, so that battle will be coming up in turn 3, and then this battle will be coming up in turn 3 also. Uh, Britain also formed the East India Company, which is over here, which is all these little dark red areas that are right here. They're kind of like Scotland. They're a puppet state. They're not officially part of the crown. And then apparently a war during actual historical times happened during this timeline, and as you can see, a war was avoided. And the English East India Company apologized to Mughal Empire for transgressions, and I did a little thing here, and I was, just having some fun. And then this was talking about how the Kingdom of France expanded. So as you can see, it actually shows how much they've expanded from. They also, because Savoy is a player also, they did a marriage slash military alliance with Savoy, as you can see. So you can see Savoy's right here, and it has expanded. A lot of it's mostly from turn 3, so I'm not gonna reveal anything about it. Savoy sent forces to go help quell an Algerian rebellion down here that was absolutely decimated in turn 3. They also formed an alliance. Oh, I completely forgot they formed an alliance with Bavaria. And then Savoy talked to Switzerland into giving 2 provinces to France, giving 1 to Switzerland, and then he also gained Parma and Siena, which is all right here, and then both sides guaranteed the independence of this. And then this one's on the French occupation. Then this is the public courier of the king. This is Sweden's news network, because each one of these is separate into a different news network. Literally, like, oh, so that's why for a lot of these things you'll see repeated words or images or something like that. But this one was a war. But this one was talking about a war that was being declared between Schleswig-Holstein, which is these 2 territories that my mouse is currently hovering over, and Sweden and Denmark. At the time, we didn't know that Schleswig-Holstein was apparently part of the HRE, so technically Sweden would have been at war with the HRE, but we didn't find that out till turn 3, which threw up into a whole big mess and blah 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 blah. I'm not even going to get into it. And then a blockade was established here of the Baltic Straits. No one else can go in and out of the Baltic Seas unless they have the permission of Sweden. But there's also the another thing that happened during turn 3 that you will find out in the turn 3 video article, whatever you want to call it, that will let you know what happens. And then they embargo them. So Sweden, there's no actual monetary system or trading system or something like that here in the game. So this is more like for actual political reasons. And then France had dealt with rebellion in Alsace-Lorraine, but all rebels were executed. All rebels were executed. There was no news from Spain at that time. Military alliance between Georgia and Russia. And that's oh, jeez, Avos right there. Puppet of Russia moving into here and here, and then this is Prussia's. So, basically, old Germany that news network. So this one was War. The leader of our glorious nation has launched a preemptive strike against the Holy Roman Emperor Leopold I, and several nations of the Holy Roman Empire have answered the Emperor's call to arms. Hanover is at the side of Prussia with the backing of Sweden. Apparently, that was supposed to be secret, but he never said that to me, so that's more or less my fault. It happens. It's really nothing. Do fight against the rest of the Holy Roman Empire. Yellow squares are those siding with the HRA. Red are the front line, and the one blue square is siding with Russia. So side, 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 and sided. So a lot of things were going on here. But a lot of things also happened in turn 3 that have actually changed the tide of the war. That would be very interesting. This is Savoy's thing, where they sided with the king. This is also where they declared war against Genoa. And in fact, they even fought an army here and then went and immediately laid siege to Genoa itself. Yeah, yeah, and laid siege to the city of Genoa itself in the next turn, and then they established peace and things like that. But that's for later on. And they sent armies to help them. So yeah, as you can see, and they asked several nations, giving them everything they needed to know here. Go on from there, and then this one talks about Poland's diplomacy on condemning France on what it did to the Germanic peasants. To the Germanic peasants in Alsace-Lorraine that rose up to try and separate away from the French Empire. And then the rebellion section obviously talks about the rebellions that have happened during this time, which was rebels in Algiers, city of Algiers, which is right here, and then 2 provinces on either side, because Oran's here, and then I can't remember which one's here. Kat, what are you doing? She's doing something. And then this was the result right here. All right here was pretty much the result, which was, scroll down a little, which was yeah, that's what I thought. Which was there was a German there was also a German peasant revolt in Alsace-Lorraine with 2 provinces breaking away and 1 peasant army. Though the attempt was made, it was immediately crushed. The rebel leader. This is a random name. This isn't a real name. This is just a random name that I got from a name generator. Robert Stapler was killed, and arrest is still ongoing in the region, but there is talk it will soon be quelled. It is known as the Massacre of Alsace-Lorraine, or the Germanic Peasant Revolt, or Germanic Peasant Rebellion. Like, there's a few names for it, but that's the most common one. This was the numbers before the battle, and then, well, yeah, numbers prior to the battle, numbers lost during the battle, numbers after the battle. No prisoners were taken. No prisoners were taken. All rebels, well, technically 2,124, but prisoners would have been taken, and then all were executed. And then and then as you can see, I did great outline with the French blue color in the center, so that way it was showing, oh, there's still unrest in that region. And then obviously you have the Hungarian Noble Rebellion that is actually doing well. They acquired 2 territories down here. They acquired a city. Then they apparently took the city here, and I didn't even realize. I think this is it's not Budapest. I think it's Niche. This may be Niche. I can't remember. It's either Niche or Budapest, because one of these cities in Niche, one of them is Budapest, and then all that shit happened there. And then War for the Scandinavian Union, which is the Battle of Helvety Plains. As you can see, so much was fought. Holy crap! Funny enough, they technically still had half an army or so that could have fought still, but they practically just disbanded because a lot of them were like 90% or more of hurt. And then this was the 2-part battle that happened here, so you could see So you can see like the screenshots and stuff. Hang on, let me. Uh, that's not it. Nope. Go back one. There we go. What is it? This? Yeah, that's it. As you can see, I can kind of zoom in a little so I can kind of show you all the number stuff. I should brought it in a little bit more, but oh well. But yeah, as you can see, like a pretty decent amount of them were here. I was a spectator during this time to make life easier, and then the same thing for this one, and then no, go back up here. Go ahead and go back to this. There we go. And then this one's talking about the Austrian Habsburg War, which apparently is still part of the war, the Holy League War. I just didn't realize that off the top of my head. And then so for these ones, I just do a 6-sided die, and whoever gets it gets it. Basically, I say like, oh, Austrians are evens and Ottomans are odds, so everyone has a 50-50 chance either way. And then it goes on from there. And then obviously you got the War of the Eagles, which was Battle of Zerbest Castle, which was in Anhalt, right here where my mouse is currently at. And oof, he got hurt hard, as you can see here. Holy crap! Like that's crazy. Like the mortars that are in this are kind of overpowered, especially with the carcass shots. And he wasn't even using carcass shots. He was using just regular high explosives or regular shell shots. And then this one was a second siege that he did in Upper Silesia. Didn't realize I didn't put one there, which was here actually. There was a fort right here where my mouse was at, and then there were 2 cities down here that he just marched on because there was no forces there. And then the 77 Austrians that were left were pressed in the Prussian service because apparently Frederick the Great, many years after this timeline, because it's set in the spring of 1690, was always pressing his defeated foes into his own military service. And then I started doing the Maratha Mughal War also, where it's basically like the same thing with the Ottoman Habsburg War, where I ruled to check and see who gets it and things like that. But I made it where 3 new territories rose up, and then obviously the Battle of Flanders Fields. That one's coming up in a pretty good way, getting their asses kicked by them. This was the first naval fight, or technically the second one, I guess you could say. And then there were 20 ships, 17 were lost, 3 remained. And then this was the second one to where only 1 remains, so only like 4 ships in total basically managed to get away from the French fleets. Like the Dutch fleets got fucking decimated. They got bloody decimated. I'm trying not to cuss, but it's kind of hard not to. But yeah, they got bloody decimated, and holy crap, I'm surprised any are even still alive. But then again, the Dutch were kind of underprepared for the French fleet, so. And then this one is the Genoa-Savoyan War, the Battle of Genoa Plains, and then the Battle of Citadel itself, which was a siege, and was pretty decent actually. It was actually pretty cool. It'll come out at some point, or actually by the time this video comes out, it would have already been out. But yeah, it was pretty good actually. You got Turin versus Simon, who in all his glory, doesn't matter who he's playing as, loves to just make you pay for it. Like he really wants you to fight for it when it's just a battle that you're just trying to get through. Because a lot of things can go on because they just don't do fighting here. They do political actions. They do what's it called? Yeah, that's it. They do political actions, diplomatic actions. In fact, in Terry 3, a lot of political shit's already going on that I'll get to at some point. Like, holy crap, so much political shit in turn 3. And it's very crazy to think about, but this is all I got for this one. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy seeing that news article and me explaining it to the best of my ability about this. And I hope you actually enjoyed the videos that will be coming up more in the future. Have fun, play games, and think of a strategy.